Afternoon, everybody. Oh, looks like we're live. So I just thought I'd go live and tell you a little bit about the Full Frame Club because lots of people have been asking me about it. So stay there and come back and see what we've got to say. When I press the right button, it might help, won't it? Aha, welcome. Mess up with the buttons there, but there you go. So I hope you're well, nice and sunny out, and having a good week. I've been away, as you probably saw, on the various Facebook pages and groups and stuff, doing all those amazing jets and stuff. It was just a great week. So, but in the absence of being near my phone too much, we're getting a few people asking me about when the Full Frame Club's opening again. You know, messages like, I'd like to start a business. I think about going part-time. I'm ready to join, all that kind of stuff. Oh, brilliant. That's only one of the groups. That's why it says Facebook user, but there you go. So I thought I'd go live and let you know that we have opened the doors again, which we haven't done for a little while, actually, until Friday this week. So it's slightly different structure. Normally you do a Friday through to Sunday, but this time we've done a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, Tuesday to Friday. And we've put a special offer in. Well, a slightly different structure because the way the world is at the moment, I thought I'd try and do something to help. So instead of it being split into 3 payments, 2 payments, or 1 payment, we've split it into 4. But we'll come on to that in a minute. So let me tell you a little bit about the Full Frame Club. What is it? What's involved with it? Why did I set it up? And then I'll talk to you about setting up a business, because it's kind of what you probably want to hear about. So in terms of, I set it up mainly because there wasn't anything out there really quite like it. There were lots of different platforms that did different things, but not that covers all the things you need to think about from a business point in one place. And you'll probably know me from either Beyond Lens Academy or Carl Thomas Photography, which is a dog photography business, quite successful business that is. So the kind of things we cover. So what is it to start with? It's an online platform, but it's not. Here's what it's not. It's not something you subscribe to and it's a bunch of videos and that's it. There's tons of content, a smorgasbord of content, as they say, but there's ongoing webinars. So the content that's in the library at the moment is added to every week. So for example, this morning I did a webinar, actually for all Academy members, not for the Full Frame Club members really, but all about crop sensors versus full frame sensors and what's that's all about. We did a bit of white balance. Last week we were talking about bracketing, and the Full Frame Club members we were talking about business work versus personal work. Prior to that, we're talking about social media, websites. That stuff goes on every week. And they're recorded in the same way as this is, and then added into your library, so to speak, if you're a Full Frame Club member. But in addition to that, there's unlimited one-to-one support. And that's what it's all about, really. So you are sitting there now. Let's imagine you are sitting there thinking, I've been thinking about doing this. I quite like what Carl's been able to do because it's a great way to earn a living, I have to say. But I've not been quite sure about where do I start? What do I do? I'm not sure, full-time, part-time, and so on. And the biggest part of the support package that you get with this Full Frame Club is this unlimited. There it is, look, unlimited one-to-one support. What does that mean? How does that work? What that basically means is what it says. It's unlimited. So you can come on, and this often happens when people first get going. They're getting their website sorted out. They're getting their social media presence sorted out. They're working at their pricing. They're trying to work out what products to offer, and they might be talking about settings and equipment and whatever. There's a lot to deal with. And so in addition to the weekly webinars and all the historical content that's in there, you can come on live to me. So if it was you and me, if you're watching this and you're a member, we go live like a Zoom call if you like, or we can do Teams. We can do... I use this platform sometimes as well. And we'll just go live and we'll talk about whatever it needs to be talked about, and I can support you. Now, that's really important. There's huge, huge value in that. And the kind of things we'll be talking about in terms of structural, your business setup, what's that all about? How does that work? Full or part-time. I've got a little 5-slide presentation I'll take you through in a minute. Pricing, how do I charge? What do I charge? Everybody around the corner is doing it half price, so on stuff. I talked about these mastermind webinars there every week. There's at least one. That's specifically about Full Frame members, but one of the benefits of joining the Full Frame Club is you get the Academy membership as well, which is that thing up there, which is all about photography. There's absolutely tons of stuff in there. Making sure you can make a profit. So how does that work? What's the thing called cost of doing business? Now, mentorship, that's me. helping you, supporting you, as well as you get access to the Full Frame Club private Facebook group, and the Beyond the Lens Academy group Facebook club as well. There's hundreds, or Facebook group rather. So there's lots of support from individual people and stuff like that, as well as myself. But I'm the main sort of part of support. So I'm there helping you. But also, I'm there on your shoulder saying, right, you said you're going to sort your pricing out last week. How are we getting on with that? Because one thing that I have come to find that with businesses, photography businesses particularly, often started by people who are creative, they'll spend a lot of time thinking and planning and not a lot of time doing. And it should be 80, 90% doing, 10, 20% planning. So I'm going to be helping you with that in a constructive, positive way. So we talk about getting your personal style established. What is that? Why is it so important? How long do you do it? Strategy. That's going to be different for different people. So for some people, that's going to be all about full-time business and all those bits that go with that and everything else in the structure of the business. For some people, it's part-time, more of a side hustle. So, depending on where you are with that, we'll build a strategy that suits that for you. Lead generation. So, getting to the interesting enough stuff now. How do we manage it? How do we get our customers? Where are we going to get them from? And when we've got them, how are we going to manage it? What's the process? And obviously, we talk about skills and equipment, and importantly, editing, big part of it. So that's just, I'm just flicking through this now because it's, I'm not going to spend too much time with it all on now. Let me put a couple of things on this link. So the Facebook page is where at the moment you can press the link to join, but I'm going to put them on here as well. So here's the, typing away. I should get a link for this really to type in. I've got links to the other ones. Right. Beyond the Lens Academy.com. So that's the link to the website. At the top of it at the moment, there's a button to click. So let me now give you a direct link to the landing page, which is here. So if you just want to go directly to the landing page, there's a short link here, which is just coming up now, and that takes you to the landing page. Tells you a little bit more about it, and it's got the thing that you can click on and subscribe and split it over four payments if you want to. So it's all there. Save you. I just wanted to keep it simple. There was one other link. Oh, that's the other thing. The private Facebook group. So if you are watching this, then I'll get this little slides out in a minute and talk to you a little bit about setting up a business so you can learn some stuff. But if you're thinking about it and you think, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not quite ready for it now, that's fine. Get yourself in the Full Frame Club Facebook group. In order to do that, you fill out a registration form, which is a few bits and pieces about yourself and where you're going, where you might want to go in the future. And once that's submitted, you automatically get a link to join the Facebook group. So let me find that link. Here it is. And put that up for you as well. Because that's, quite regularly I'll pop in one of the webinars that we've done on a week if I think it's interesting or relevant to people who are thinking about joining. I'll often pop them in there as well. So there's a few links here. Sorry about that. First one's a website. Go to the website. You'll be able to find the place to click and see what's going on. The second one is a direct link to the landing page, which you'll get to via the website anyway. And the third one I've just put up is all about the registration thing. So register gets you in the system, if you like, so you're ready and thinking, and you'll be able to get access to content. Let me go to that banner. Right. So if you've got any questions or comments while you're here, please ask them. Why not? Let's make the most of it. That's what I always say. Right, now let me share screen a minute. So I'm just going to flick through now a little presentation, which I've done a few times, but it covers kind of turning your, the basics of it. And the reason I've done this, and I like to put it up, is because it's not as complicated as people think. People think it's like, oh, it's really complicated, it's really hard, I'm not so sure. So this is all about demystifying it. And, have a look at some of the reviews on the Beyond Lens Academy Facebook page and some of them on the website and things like that. I have a very straightforward approach to it. It's not as complicated. I don't like to make things complicated. So turning your passion for photography into a business. This is a bit of background about me. This is what my business is, Carl Thomas Photography. So you may be watching this on that page. You may even be an existing client and had photos done of your dogs. So these are the kind of things that I do. Started off 5-6 years ago now, and it's kind of grown and grown and grown. Is a very successful business with the best part of 30,000 people following me and keeps me on my toes. So that's the main business. I've obviously got Beyond the Lens Academy, which is what I'm talking about. That's an online learning business, which we set up a couple of years ago. It's doing really well, and obviously the Full Frame Club, which is a subdivision of that. If that makes sense. So this is who I am. So let's talk about the challenges. And again, any questions, any comments, stick it in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. So the kind of things to think about, the kind of things that you're probably thinking, oh, if you haven't done it yet, this is probably going to ring some bells. So the first thing is confidence. Let me tell you first about that. I don't think I've ever met a photographer that doesn't lack confidence, particularly when they first start. It's a very normal thing. So don't worry about it. It's common. And the reason it's common is because it's an art form. So what you're putting forward, potential clients, is your work. And very often, photographers don't necessarily have a decent structured feedback loop. They might have their mates that'll say, oh, that's a nice photo, but they don't have somebody saying it's a good photo because, or try this, or try that. So it's quite common. So confidence is something we'll help you build in the Facebook groups that we've got. There's 2 of them, and all the webinars and one-to-ones with me, and I can help you with establishing the level of work that you've got. Equipment. You do not need to have the best equipment in the world. I often show, where's this picture? I'm not sure I've got it in here anymore, actually. So I've been taking pictures out to make room for other pictures. Let's see, bear with me, see if I can find it. There we go. That picture there, when I put that up on Facebook, went nuts. Took it my iPhone. So you do not need to have expensive equipment. Another little example of that. This salmon shot we did on one of our workshops or our photography retreats, I mentioned those briefly as well towards the end. Won me a little competition in the Farlow's Fun in the Field, got 100 quid voucher. This was one of my clients that was there. That was taken with a 70D with a really old lens. It's all about knowing how to use the equipment you've got. You don't have to spend a fortune on equipment, and trust me, you can. And I've worked with people who have, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good photographer. The next thing you're going to be thinking about, if your confidence is okay and you think you've got a reasonable camera and you're okay with that, well, nobody's going to buy my work. That is such another standard response. And even I thought that a little bit at the beginning, and it didn't hold me back, fortunately. And I'll talk to you about, why that is. The main reason is typically the kind of people that you will ask about it. If you're at that stage now where you're thinking, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to, photograph motorbikes or cars or headshots or babies or weddings or dogs, cats, whatever it might be, horses. You might talk to your friends about it and they go, oh, yeah. And you say, I'm going to charge 150 quid for a photo session, which is what I charge. And they're like, oh, no, I wouldn't pay that. And it's like, well, they may not pay that, but they're also not likely to be your target client. So don't worry about it. People will pay for your work and will definitely pay the right kind of money. And that goes into this next one at the bottom here, cheap competition locally. I hear this all the time. I'm surrounded by people who give it away, as it were. They're a different business. I don't worry about it. I certainly don't drop my prices to compete. Price competition is a short-term fix to a long-term death in business. So definitely don't do that. And also I set myself apart. I'm a different business. I'm not saying I'm a Michelin star restaurant, but if you were, and the burger van turns up down the road and starts sells burgers and kebabs, you're going to be bothered? Of course you're not. It's different. So don't get hung up by it. And that's a big part of what we cover in the academy, actually, or in the Full Frame Club, actually. So things you've got to think about, apart from getting in the Full Frame Club and having somebody helping you, of course, is making a start. And that's, again, this planning, 90% planning, 10% doing. Got to be the other way around. Make a start. Start networking. Whatever it is that you think you want to photograph, you're probably already slightly connected in that area anyway, which is why you enjoy it. So if it's dogs, horses, or whatever, you'll be in that genre, so to speak. But start networking. So for example, dogs, that's what I do. So local vets, local pet shops, local groomers, local people who've got dogs, dog walking groups, dog boarding businesses, local dog trainers, dog behaviorists, all those sort of things. Start moving and shaking and getting yourself connected, because that's where your customers are likely to be. Master your craft. And that basically just means get good at what you're doing. You can't do it overnight, but and I don't mean just basic in terms of taking photos, but getting to a point where you start to develop a personal style, which is the third point on here. The more you take photos, the more you will start to evolve into a style. And people's styles are very different. Now, my style is, I'm known for that sort of stuff. Spaniels jumping up and being spaniels. Here's another one. These sort of things. This is what I'm known for. I've got any photos? That's what the one photo I was going to show you. I don't think I've got it in here anymore. Let me just scan through slowly. No rush. No, I think I've taken it out. But some of you may know a lady called Kaylee Greer, dog breath photographer, a very good friend of mine. Name drop. Her style is very different. She photographs dogs, one of the world's most successful, actually, and well known. But her shots are very close in. So developing your personal style will come out of lots of things. It's a big part of what we cover in the academy. Or in the Full Frame Club, which is part of the academy. So in addition to those things, you've got to start thinking about your portfolio, your shop window. That's not thousands of images. That's probably 10 images, that say, this is what I do. Please think about, if you are thinking about these kind of images, if these are the kind of images you would like to put on your wall, or have digital copies of, or whatever it might be, this is what you've got to be showing forward. Facebook page, website, it goes without saying you've got to have those things. They're not hard to do, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do them. So we must get them right to get the right kind of traction and the right kind of flow through of customers, if that makes sense. Product offering, what am I going to offer? It's all very well thinking about this, but what am I going to sell? Am I going to do digitals? Am I going to do frames? Am I going to have a specific kind of bespoke package that I think about? And pricing. You know, you've got to think about that. What am I going to charge for the photo session? What am I going to charge for frames, books, or whatever it might be that you're going to do? So that's all stuff I'll help you with, but these are things to think about. None of it's complicated, though, especially when you break it down. Getting organized is really important in any business. So have a process. And what I mean by process is, what is your process? So once you've got yourself all set up, you get a message pop up on your phone. Oh, hi, Carl. I'm interested in booking you for a photo session. What happens after that? What is your process? I've got a very well-designed process of sending them a specific link to what we do, how things work, and then a way of invoicing, which is the bottom bit here. And these are all part of the same thing, really. So lead management, I've got a special system that not an online system. I've got an online system, actually. I use Studio Ninja, but I've got a process. So when somebody inquires, they get X. If somebody's inquired but I've not heard back, it's Y. If somebody's booked an order with me, or I've done a photo session but I've not heard back, various things happen. Invoicing, work out how you're going to get your clients to pay you money. Are you going to send them your bank details? Are you going to use PayPal or Stripe or whatever it might be? Important to have that done. And this is it. That's the last slide. I told you it wouldn't be too long. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Right, let me just stop that a minute. There we go. I'll get rid of it now. How do I get rid of it? There he is, gone. Hey, back in the room. So that's just a bit of a flavour. It's not the be all and end all, certainly not. But the kind of questions, I mean, it's very quiet today, actually. I don't know, it's probably because it's just after lunch. But people say to me, well, how long does it take to get set up? You could be up and running and be able to start taking bookings inside a month, if necessary. That's pushing it, I'll be honest. Some people take 6 months, some people take longer. It all depends on your strategy and what you want to do. So it's about working at your pace, building your portfolio, getting things right, getting things set up. For some people, that's like, I'm really on it, I want to get it done. Some people, it's a very methodical approach and everything in between, to be frank. So there are lots of different ways of looking at it. So if you are thinking about joining, now's the time, because ordinarily it's like a one-off payment, which is still great value, but we've split that reduced one-off payment, which is about 10% of what it would normally cost, because we've been holding back because of the way things are at the moment for everybody, and we split it into 4. So it's a really good way of joining. You get the full year's support for that, but you can spread the payment over the first 4 months, which brings it down to next to nothing. Less than one customer is going to pay with you. So easily done. Now, a couple of other things that we do in the group in the academy. We have these trips. So I went away on the Mat Loop, just got back. Amazing. We've got one in July. We are off to. There's one room left in July. It's just come available. One the first week. We commence in the second and 9th. We are going to stay here on the Isle of Mull. Look at that. We've got that building, and just behind that tree, there's another little building. Got that as well. This is what it's like. Absolutely amazing. Now these trips are, we call them photography retreats, and they're kind of 6-8 people on them. Not a huge amount of people. Myself and our chap called Alan Ward, and we offer you all the sort of support and help while we're there. And we're out for photographing wildlife. It's all you get. It's fully catered, so you have a lovely evening meal. Packed lunches and stuff are all available. Nice, good old breakfast in the morning. Bring your own tip on. We'll have a few drinks in the evening if that's something you fancy as well. We always have a bit of a laugh, and it's like a holiday in some ways. It's a retreat. That's why we call it that. So some people bring partners, and it's a week with like-minded people using your camera with individual sort of one-to-one support wherever. Which is why it's small groups. You've got Alan and I can help, and sort of an evening we'll get back, do some editing, and I might put up on the screen of some editing workflow and stuff. Brilliant fun. And then the next one we've got coming up after that one is here. We're going to the Highlands, just near Aviemore in November, staying in this beautiful place. All very high standards, you can see. It's not dorms or anything. Absolutely beautiful, this one. Then there's two spaces left on that. They get booked up. And what you will find if you get involved with this is that or get involved with either the academy or the Full Frame Club, and you go on any of these trips. You don't have to be a member to come on these trips, by the way, either. you'll want to go on the rest. So quite a lot of people who come on them have done every single one we've done. And there's a discount structure as well. So once you've been on one, then you get a bit of a discount for your next and so on. So that also helps. So what can I say? Let me just go back to comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. No, it's all up there. So if you are thinking about joining, then take advantage of the offer we've got up at the moment. If it's something that you are not sure about, just get the registration form. That'll get you into the Full Frame Club Facebook group. And that's where I tend to post things and stuff like that. And very occasionally I pop little offers in there that are not to the wider audience. But honestly, it's very good value. If you are thinking about setting up a business on a full or part-time basis, don't delay, get on with it. And at the moment, another income stream supporting your full-time business or a better income stream than your current business, I'm sure that could be handy. So anyway, I'm going to leave you in peace. And I don't think there's any more questions. I'm just checking. No more questions. So I'm going to leave you in peace, play our little outro video because I get told if I don't do that. And hopefully see you inside. See you later. Bye.